All right, it's another day. Hey, it's supposed to be a nice one finally. We just went through a real cold snap here a couple days ago. It was down in the 30s, and then we had some sleet. It sleeted just, well, I think it was yesterday. We had a sleet storm for a while, and today we're supposed to be about 83 to 85 degrees. So wacky weather, just kind of like this tiller. This thing's all fucking wacky. I have yet to successfully fix it, but I'm going to get into it a little deeper today and see what kind of ghosts and demons we can dredge up here. I'm thinking I don't have any place locally that has the specific spark plug that I want for this. Yeah, I can get any old spark plug, a Champion, a Autolite, or whatever. I mean, any plug's going to work. This plug, last time I tested it, this is out of my garden tractor actually. It looks a whole lot better sparkage wise than the plug that I originally pulled out of this. So I still have that in there, but I'd feel a lot better if I had a brand new spark plug to work with. So I mail ordered one. It will be here hopefully tomorrow, which will be Saturday. If not, it's scheduled for Monday. But the way it's tracking, it looks like it's probably going to be here tomorrow. I hope. But in the meantime, while I have it, I should have done it. I should have done it when I had the fucking carburetor off. But you know how it is. Hindsight 2020 and all that jazz. So I am going to check the valve adjustment on this and probably give it a valve adjustment. I'm more than sure it has never been done. I don't know. Chances are it's going to be right in spec. I'm probably wasting my fucking time here. It ran fine before, then all of a sudden it got all shitty. I got it down to, it was getting no fuel. Replaced the carburetor. It actually runs good up to about 3/4 throttle, but as soon as you go wide open, it turns to shit. It's something that's only happening under engine load, and it seems to be temperature sensitive as well. Yeah, I got a good idea where that symptom might lead me, but it shouldn't. So while I'm waiting for a spark plug, I mean, yeah, a spark plug could do that too. So can valves, and so can a coil. While I'm waiting on spark plug, I figure I'm just going to pull the carburetor back off. It's only 2 bolts. It's not the end of my world. I am going to adjust the governor, which I think it's fine, but it doesn't quite go wide open throttle. So I'm going to get it there. And yeah, do a valve adjustment, adjust the governor, and put it back together and try it. I'm going to run it today, see what we got, see if it made any difference at all. But yeah, I'm going to get down to a spark plug. And then too, I want to do a compression test on it when the engine is hot, to see if it changes. Compression should come up, but there's no guarantee that it does. And if it goes down, well, that's going to confirm that we got a crack or something like that in the head, or a head gasket, something that's only leaking, once the engine's good and hot and has expanded. So that'll help me, rule out that potential possibility. This is a little strange. I mean, normally you don't got to work this hard to get one of these pieces of shit to actually run really good. They don't need much. Hell, they'll pretty much run on fucking sand. You know what I mean? They just don't care about the world the way that you and I do. You get piss in the tank and they just fucking run. I haven't been this involved in one of these little small engines for I don't know, since I was probably a kid, to tell you the truth, because they're just usually not this involved. They're usually not very complicated. So whatever, we're gonna find out exactly why it's doing what it's doing and fix it. Well, maybe we'll fix it. Depends on what it's going to cost. If it gets too involved financially, the owner of this thing's not going to want to deal with it. He already is pissed off about $30 for a carburetor. Well, it's $17 for an overhaul kit, or $30 for a whole new carburetor. Bitching about nickels, really. So fuck him. If he don't want it, I'll give him fucking $200 for this, and then I'll own the goddamn machine. He can he can decide what he wants to do digging a garden with 200 bucks then. But anywho, yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna set up. I'm not gonna show you taking the carb apart. I'm gonna, once I'm in there, once I'm in there and I got something to show and tell, then we'll turn the camera back on. All right, that's it. I'll set up and get into it. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention, just an idea that I was playing around with. Because the best way to tune any engine, all engines, don't matter car, truck, van, don't matter dirt bike, quad, garden track, anything that's internal combustion, diesel or other, the best way to tune them is under engine load. You got to put some sort of a load on the guy to find out exactly how much fuel it's really going to need to have a decent burn at that load rating and at full operating temperature. Now, something like this, I mean, it's usually never a problem. I mean, you usually don't have to get that involved with these little, well, these little lawnmower engines. But this one has proven to be a pain in my ass. The easiest way to deal with that would be to actually build some sort of a, well, an engine braking system, which wouldn't be very involved. I seriously toyed around with the idea of doing it. It's just, how often are you really going to need it? It's going to be one of those apparatuses that, you know, sits around, takes up space in the freaking garage. You're going to forget where you put it because you moved it so many fucking times. You need it once in your life, maybe twice, and then, But, you know, I could just use some junkyard brake caliper off a car, some junkyard rotor and wheel hub off a car, you know, weld up some sort of a rigging, and then you take the engine off here, of course, and well, I'd have to mount it to something, a bench or something like that. And afterwards, I mean, hey, you just fire it up, you put a load on it with an actual brake caliper and rotor, and there you go. You can vary the load. I don't need to get numbers. I don't need a dynamometer. I just need something that can literally physically create an engine load. Because putting this guy in dirt with tines spinning and standing alongside of it and, you know, tweaking the carburetor, it's a little freaking sketchy. You know, I risk a lot for technicality and/or science and whatnot, but I need my damn feet. And if this thing happens to just grab one part of my shoe, it could suck my leg under there and, well, say goodbye to my fucking foot. So, yeah, anyway, I'm toying around with the idea still, but I don't think I'm gonna. But I just thought I'd throw it out there. Somebody ought to make something to do specifically that purpose, and maybe something like that does exist. Like I said, I don't need a dynamometer, I don't need numbers, I just need something that can physically be universal and create a load on these small engines. So anyway, it's just an idea. I thought I'd throw it out there quick. Anyway, I'll get back to it once I have the carb off and got something else to say, show and tell. All right, getting into it. Eh? Can we? I know I'm probably just shooting myself in the foot here. I ought to just take that arm off, but I don't want to. Not yet. Why? So difficult, man. It's so fucking, it's right there. It's just there. Holy shit. Pulling teeth. And I hardly got any left, so I can't afford to lose no more. Oh. I can check clearance, but I'm not going to be able to do any kind of real adjustment on it. I should have looked this up. I am constantly shooting myself in the foot over this stupid fucking engine. Well, not constantly, but I really thought this was going to be an adjustable system. And I'm sure it would be with shims. That's what it's looking like anyway. Well, I'm in there, at least I can check it. Gotta put it on top dead center. You can see the piston in that little hole. I guess you can see it. If not, I'll zoom in and post. I think you'll be able to see that. The piston's moving up and down in there. So that's coming up on top. That's coming down. Exhaust valve's opening. Piston's back up. Intake is opening. Bottom. That should be about top again. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Alright, timing marks are on the other side. That's at top dead center. The piston is. Oh, let's see what we got for valve clearance here. Here's an 8. And it doesn't go in. Here's a 6. Yeah. Slight drag. Slight, I think it's probably just a little bit of an angle. Let's see if I can get a 7 in. Here's a 7. Oh, that's beautiful. That's perfect right in the middle. I gotta look up the exhaust. 17 to 19. Exhaust is going to be 17 to 19. Let's see what a 17 does. Real quick now, waltzed. Yeah, probably not. Ooh. It's tight. A 17 is tight. It goes in, but I mean, it's tight. So the exhaust valve is definitely on the lower end of the spec, but you know, it's probably a perfect 16 and a half. 17 is, you know, just a little tight. Well, it's tight, but yeah, I can't move that with my finger. I mean, in other words, I can't compress the spring with my finger. You know, so my pushing the feeler gauge in, you know, I wasn't moving that valve spring at all. It's just, I mean, it's right there. A 17 goes in. 18 certainly would not. So it's right there at the bottom end of the spec. All right, so what do we learn here? Two things. One, whatever the hell's going on here, it ain't gonna be a valve adjustment problem. Two, the valves are within spec. Was it worth this? I don't know. Now I got the carb off. I know it isn't, but I'm going to check it anyway, again, now that I have the carb off. I'm going to check the float height adjustment on the carburetor, which I should have done before I put the damn thing on, but I didn't. I know it's not a float height adjustment issue. I know this because it doesn't respond to fuel. I can take fuel away and it acts up. I can give it a whole shit ton of fuel by applying choke and it still acts up exactly the same. You know, giving it fuel or moving the fuel does nothing to change the way this thing's acting on the top end. It just won't run for shit at wide open throttle under load. Does fine at wide open throttle. It just won't, you know, as soon as you work it at wide open, well, you heard it. It starts coughing and carrying the fuck on and just turns to shit. So it's not an adjustment anywhere that is adjustable. And like I just showed here, there ain't nothing that I can adjust regardless, and they're already in spec. So the only thing I can do adjustment wise yet is yeah, check the float height on the carb. It's just one nut to remove. Since I have it off, I can turn the guys straight upside down and take a good measurement there. So I figure I might as well do that. And this gasket was leaking anyway, so it wasn't a bad leak, it was just seeping. I sprayed this whole side down with starting fluid before I turned the camera on, just to kind of get most of the gunk off. So, I mean, it wasn't a total waste of freaking time. I can schmoo that up with some silicone and get it to stop leaking, hopefully. But, yeah, so I was hoping I was going to see a little something there to make me feel better anyway. But I guess it is what it is, and I keep moving on here. All right, next. Somebody was in here before, and this was siliconed. I cleaned it off decently anyway, decently enough. Put a real thin layer of silicone on. For those of you that do not know, here's well, here's the way you do it. When you put silicone onto something, you don't just schmoo it up and go ahead and reassemble. That's the incorrect way of applying silicone. What you do is you let this set up and get tacky. When you can just barely touch it, say the corner, see how it's stuck? I got some on my finger. When you can just barely touch it and you don't get any on your finger, but it's still good and tacky, that is when you assemble, and not before. Just thought I'd throw it out there. I see a lot of guys on YouTube and whatnot. Hell, I worked with 100 or so that would always do this incorrectly, especially with valve covers and timing cover gaskets, that kind of thing. Yeah, look, it pays, because if you don't wait, if you don't give it enough time, I mean, your odds of having a leak are astronomically higher than if you would just wait, you know, 10 minutes for this stuff to tack up, and then you can reassemble. You'll be fine. Just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, I looked up, I have the actual service manual for this, so took a couple minutes and did some homework. Here are the fucking noise. I'll tell you the shit that runs around here. I mean, they're nice cars, but they're just fucking obnoxious. Anyway, I looked up, well, float height here, and I quickly did some calculations there, and I got it converted to millimeters because I prefer millimeters. I wish the whole world worked on millimeters. The whole metric system is just better. But I got two adjustments here to look at. That's really the only one I care about, this one here. That's what's going to shut the fuel off. It can only open until, you know, either it binds up or until it hits the bottom of the bowl. So, I mean, this is not a critical thing, but that one can affect your, well, wide open throttle performance. I mean, if it's too low, in other words, the way it's sitting now, if the float was too high, it would shut the fuel off. You would have a very low fuel level in the bowl. So we'll just take a look at that real quick. I loosened the nut here. We'll just see what it looks like. I'll let that sit for a while because all the gas, of course, wanted to ooze out. See what she does, how wants. That ain't nothing to talk about there. That's as good as it needs to be. Oop. Hope you can see that. That looks level. Anything's gonna run if it's level. That's all it's gotta be. I mean, all these small engines, as long as the float's about level, yeah, I ain't even gonna fucking dick around with that. That looks damn good to my eyeball. Fuck the measurement. You can measure it if you want to. I ain't gonna. That is all I needed to see right there. So, like I said, I know it's not a fuel problem. Quite simply because, oh my god, this thing fucking expanded. Whoa, that's no good. I know it's not a fuel problem because I can take fuel away, and I can, you know, give it way too much by adding choke. I can take it away by cutting off the main jet, and yeah, it don't make no damn difference. None at all. All it wants to do is run like crap at wide open throttle. So, fuck. That seal expanded. Well, what do you want for a goddamn nickel, I guess? Oh, if it ain't one thing, it's always something else, ain't it? What a piece of shit. Ah. Fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, you see that? Look at that retardation right there. What the actual fuck? Huh? Holy fuck. Well, I'm gonna have to yeah, dry that off and maybe freeze it. You fucking piece of shit. Well, what do you want for a nickel, I guess? Alright, well, I gotta get that goddamn thing to go back in there and whatever. I'll deal with it. Alright, I'm gonna deal with that, and then we'll get on to putting this shit back together. Alright, I cleaned it off, and I put it into I put it into a block of ice water, and then I fucking froze it. If this doesn't shrink that goddamn thing down, well, guess what? Nothing will, and then I'm fucked. So, it's just barely frozen. Just barely. But it's not going to get any colder than that. Let's see. Oh! 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 So close! Nah, we still can't get her done. See the bubble? Nope, it's permanently done fucked. There ain't no fixing it. Liquid nitrogen ain't gonna fix this shit. Fuck. Alright, you know what? I know what. I'm just about fucking pissed off now. Yeah. Yep. Done with it. I ain't doing no more today. It's too fucking nice today. It's time for me to sit down and drink some beer and enjoy this weather. Fuck this goddamn tiller. Tomorrow is another day, and clearly I gotta go get a fucking O-ring for it. Piece of shit. So, yeah, that's all I got in me. This fucking thing. Should have been so simple. Well, yeah. Alright, tomorrow's another day. I am fucking done with this today. It's just pissing me off. So, yep. Tomorrow. See you then. Oh, yeah. This is what nice, sunny, well, semi-overcast, but whatever. Sunny enough. This is what nice days were meant for. Fuck that rototiller. At least for today, I'm done with it. Cheers.